Hey everybody, welcome back. This is another day of living clean by me, John Clayton. I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic, and I've been clean and sober since February 21st, 2021. Connection to the world around us. You don't know this, but this is my third attempt at trying to read this to you. For some reason, I get a few words in and it starts jumping around the page on me. So we're going to try again here. Connections to the world around us. We build our foundation in recovery. As we become more secure, we broaden our horizons and accomplish goals. We would never have considered before. Many of us go back to school, pursue careers, and start families. We come back regularly to check our foundation for cracks and shifting and to reinforce it where needed. Such a sturdy foundation would not be necessary if we were just pitching a tent. But we build skyscrapers on our foundation. Those skyscrapers must be securely grounded so that renovating one room doesn't cause the entire structure to collapse. The tools we use to build our foundation are not the only tools we need later on. It's not that they lose their value. The basics are always important, but at some point they may not be enough. It might not be enough to go. Damn it. The basics are always important, but at some point they may not be enough to sustain us. When we arrive at a moment when everything we know is not enough for us, we turn to members with more experience. We are likely to get the same simple guidance we have heard from the beginning. The answers are in the steps. A deeper relationship with the steps continues to develop even after we have worked them many times. For some of us, consistent practice of prayer, meditation, writing, or physical exercise are useful in the beginning, but grow richer over time. The simple fact of having maintained a practice for a long time offers a structure for our program that we can depend on. For many of us, getting and staying clean is our greatest accomplishment, no matter what else we do in life. For others, if for others, it is the most beautiful gift we have been given. It is not always possible for us to share the thing for which we are most grateful with and with people outside recovery. That may feel like a little barrier between us and the world. Some of us stay entirely within the sphere of recovery. All of our friends are in recovery. Our whole world is tied up with the fellowship. Not because we are afraid to venture out, but because we derive so much satisfaction from the rich interactions we have in NA. The way we share this level of deep identification that makes NA feel so special is to us, talking openly about feelings, finding humor in some of the darkest, most frightening things that have happened to us is not always available outside the rooms. For some of us, that's fine. We are happy making our lives in NA. For others, creating outside the rooms the same kinds of intimacy and community that we have learned to love in recovery presents an exciting challenge. We may experience some kinds of the connections in NA We may experience some kinds of connection in NA and other kinds in other places. With our families, religious communities, co-workers, or neighbors, we are comfortable having some of our identity here and some there. Each of us finds the blend that works for us. Just for today, self-acceptance for most of us means finding a balance between our recovery and our lives outside NA. There are times when we are not around the fellowship as much as we would like to be. We notice the difference in our recovery. We may we may also notice the difference in how it feels when we come back. When we are not as closely connected, it's easy to feel left out. People ask where we've been and we take offense. We can find we It's easy to feel left out. People ask where we've been and we take offense. We can be in grave danger when we start feeling angry or at meetings because people are not responding to us the way we like. The tools of the program can become weapons if we choose to use them that way. Even our step work can become an opportunity for us to abuse people. It was if we choose to use them that day. Every every um, the tools the tools of the program can become weapons if we choose to use them that way. Even our step work can become an opportunity for us to abuse ourselves about our imperfections. Some members say that our defects are just survival mechanisms that stopped working. Likewise, our best tools sometimes grow from our worst defects of character. We swing from self-obsession to intensive work on our recovery and gradually find a balance between these extremes, spending more time closer to the center as we practice. When we hit our thumbs with a hammer, our sense of proportion changes and it feels like our thumb is enormous. We often we often we think about every movement in relation to that thumb and whether anything might touch it. The same is true of our egos. When we are damaged or hurt in some way, we feel larger than life. Every conversation seems to be about us. Humility is about discovering a sense of proportion firmly grounded in reality. We gain a better perspective on how much space we actually occupy. We discover that we are as we discover that we are neither as big nor as small as we might think. We are important in the lives of the people around us, but that doesn't mean they are always thinking about how their actions will affect us. Self-obsession is rooted in fear. One of the deepest fears many of us share is that we will lose ourselves entirely. We are afraid to let go of what we know about ourselves in order to change, afraid to let go of our senses of ourselves in the world in order to meditate, afraid to let go of the ready to let go. I did it again. Afraid to let go of our beliefs about our place in the world for fear we will never lift anywhere. For many of us, Letting ourselves go may be the first step towards finding ourselves. We don't have to hold on so tight. One of our members shares that when I turn it over but don't let go, I'm just upside down. Letting go gives us the freedom to right ourselves again, naturally and gradually, rather than forcing ourselves into a mold of how we think we ought to be. We struggle with self obsession throughout our lives. This is not a defect. We let go of just once, it comes up again and again. Often, a feeling will send us into self obsession. Addiction is a disease that distorts ideas and attitudes. When we practice acceptance, we encourage ourselves from it comes up again and again. Often a feeling will send us into self-obsession. Addiction is a disease that distorts ideas and attitudes. When we practice acceptance, we distance ourselves from our reaction and reflexes. This gives us the ability to see our reactions and reflexes. This gives us the ability to see more of the picture than our limited point of view allows. The serenity prayer is not a tool we use again and again in our recovery, considering that we can change and that we cannot. Considering what we can change and what we cannot becomes increasingly powerful. Wow, okay. Thank you for joining me today. I apologize for if you had a hard time following me today. I think part of me had a hard time following myself. For some reason, I kept losing myself. I don't know why. I mean, I think my lighting is okay. I don't have the best for studio lighting, and until I can get a better setup together, this is the best I got to work with right now. But as we carry on next time with connection to order to others, I'll try and maintain a little bit more of a steady. Obviously, I'm still new at this, so as I carry on, because I don't want to just keep repeating, but as I carry on, I'm hoping that I'll figure out ways of, either better ways of reading or better ways of maybe coming across, better ways of even presenting myself, because I really want this to work out, and, you know, I have noticed that there are some other YouTube channels that do talk about some of the stuff that I'm talking about, and so I don't know if is considered competition. They got way more views than I do, but I'm hoping that I can be relatable and that I can be somebody you can feel comfortable with listening to, even for as much as I seem to stammer as I'm trying to read and get comfortable in front of a camera. So yes, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate every one of you. I would love it if you would hit subscribe and like and join me on my channel. And really would like to build up a nice big community of like-minded people. And then maybe we can run some live streams and we can really communicate. Thank you everybody. We'll see you next time.